speed. The plates are all flat for the most part, right? So like low, so it doesn't matter. You could throw them, like if I throw plates, I typically throw at really high speed the whole time. You're not gonna get away with that as you get taller and wider. And you want to center the clay how you're going to throw it, like already thinking of the shape. So I don't want to start down like this and then try to raise the clay up this high, right? I want to get it up, but I also got to take into consideration what I want to leave underneath of it to support the boulder. So, like on this, I probably left a good ½ inch. I throw this completely different, but just imagine I did ½ inch wider at the foot than what that ends up being, because it's got to support the arch. You can, if you kind of get control of it, start kind of choking with both hands to do certain things. But if you choke the clay, a lot of times what happens is you fold it and then there ends up being a soft spot in the middle. Okay, so that's pretty good. When I go to open now, instead of pressing flat and stretching it out, I'm going to go in at an angle. And that's about that thick. 3/8 to ½ inch is good. I'm going to go in at an angle, and I'm going to start pulling back. Notice now everything's being done between 3 and 6. I'm making a bowl, so I want to go ahead and start giving it a little bit of a curve to the inside. So flat across the bottom. And then this is a really important part, and I'll forget to do it sometimes, but you all starting out should do it every time. Center the rim, and that means however you do it, wrapping the sponge like this, holding your fingers on the inside and out, and compressing. This will take care of any small tears that start to form or unevenness. A lot of y'all will start doing this and you'll have the rim really fast go up and down because you open too fast. If you just hold steady like this, it'll smooth it back out. And we'll push under it like I did for the rim, but then I'm going to start squeezing out my left hand a little bit. And the visual I like to give for y'all to think about while you're doing this is, at first, always be moving the clay towards your left ear. That means you're putting more pressure on with your right hand. If you start going too wide, too fast, it'll want to slump because clay, it's wet, it's soft. So always gripping this, and I mean I'm like this, my hands together and I'm squeezing. There's a little bead that forms there and then I'm lifting it. I'm also, as I get towards the rim, letting the pressure up some. And I might do this, if you watch me enough today even, rip the top right off of one of these bowls. Still moving towards my ear or maybe towards my nose. So it's more straight up and down. I got all this like flare right here that's not going to move up unless I do something about it. Sometimes I'll kind of push in. Generally, the way I was taught was you want to get most of the lifting of the clay done in 3 pulls. We were taught for speed and efficiency. You won't be there right away, but you should be able to try to get close. So I've got all the height I'm going to get out of 3 pulls. I normally will do it in like 2 now. And then I'll start shaping. I'm still going to use this rib, but I'm going to come in here and holding it like kind of away from me so it's taking place in my fingers. And I'm stretching the clay out to it. And this really compresses the clay and takes care of a lot of the slumping issues. Kind of let that go. That little twist right there was because I got a thin spot. Because I did one more pull than I should have. So kind of stretch it back out though and fix it. It's always better if you can, like on these bowls, the way I'm showing you to do it at least. It's okay if you leave the top a little thick because you're going to stretch it wider and secure it and make it steadier. I'm going to press the rim. I know I forgot to do that a second ago. And then I like to go in with this metal rib, or a lot of times I cut them in half. If you have old gift cards inside of it. To make sure everything on the inside is right and trim the outside. Now for me, thinking of this, and you should kind of look online at some like contemporary bowls, or I probably should link a few websites for you maybe, but a bowl for me, there we go, that was fun. A bowl for me is anything where the opening is bigger than the foot. Go grab me cutting wire, please. It's one thing I did for you. Again, that happened because I did one extra pull. That shows that like it can be too thin. And you'll see that in a second. You see how that real thin spot right in here? That was the end of it. But this is important to see, and something I forgot to draw in the class the other day. Let's be easier to draw on board. You have to leave a little clay. I would actually advise you on a curve like this to try not to take out any more, like you can leave a little bit extra there because it's going to want to slump right there as you work. It's going to start going like this and fall down. When I go to trim it, I'll remove out to about right there and there. And the idea is to get that cross section of the foot kind of even. So leaving that little bit of extra in there doesn't hurt. I just trim it away. It helps me be able to throw a thinner, better crafted bowl or cup or whatever we throw if I leave a little bit to support the curve.